Okay. So once again, welcome to the LE online language community. So the topic for this class is going to be illegal immigration. So as you know, this is the week number 8. These are going to be our last sessions. I'm so sad about it, but well, anyway. So in this session, we are going to speak about a reality that here in the States and also in Mexico, something that this community is going through, which is like a illegal immigration. So our objectives for this class is to want to give your opinion about this topic and also to use all that rich vocabulary that you have acquired from the previous sessions. And I hope this will be a pretty good space for you to just give your opinion and also to discuss this pretty interesting topic. Okay, so do you guys review the listening exercise for this session? Leonardo?
Yeah, I happen uh, to revise, to review some kind of things related to this topic.
Okay. What about Daniel?
Mm, I don't know very much about this topic.
Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to give me a second. Mhm. Okay, so some of the vocabulary that you could find there in the listening exercise was about, about illegal immigration and somehow like a how to say, express a little bit the situation of many Mexican workers here in the States. So, Leonardo, what was the listening about?
Uh, okay, let me remember a little bit. Uh, okay, are you talking about the video or are you talking about what we have to read? What we had to read?
Yeah, the reading.
The reading. Um, can you remember for me the title of the reading? If I remember the title of the reading, maybe I could tell you something important.
Oh, no way. Yeah, you understand. I can I can remember pretty well. I'm the same right now. Oh, okay. The title is Guest Worker Program. Guest Worker Program. Yeah.
Worker program. Okay, from what I can gather, it is about, for example, the situation that some kind of Mexicans have to go through, and is simply that they're working in some farmers in the United States, for example, in California, and they're working there because the owners of those properties decided to pay them for the work, but they're not well paid. They're not well working very well. So these kind of owners gave them these jobs because they want to save money. They want to gain a profit. This is going to be profitable for them because if they hire legal people, they will have to invest too much money. So maybe the ideal thing would be that maybe uh, they could have an agreement, a deal with Mexicans in which they could get, uh, they could be legal because as I were pointing out before, they used to use forged papers in order to work. So all the time they are working as illegal workers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something very normal. Um, Many Mexicans are working illegally in order to survive. So because maybe they don't have enough chances to work in Mexico, they decided to cross the border in order to go to the United States, and as a consequence, yeah, they opt to work as illegal in farmers for the most part. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I could tell you.
Okay, yeah, that's right. So, Daniel, Daniel,
Excuse me. Answer the question that you sent me.
yes. Yeah, so
Mm,
uh, we were talking with Leonardo about the Reading Guest Worker Program, which exposes some of the reality that many Mexicans has to live here in the States. So, I don't know if you review the reading that I sent you on Skype.
on Sky, you sent me. Yeah. I opened the link YouTube, but I don't open. I didn't open the link of the article.
Okay, yeah, okay. It's okay. Anyway, Leonardo exposed most of the important ideas. So, right here, you can see some of the vocabulary that were in the reading. So, I'm going to describe some of the description of these expressions, and you will guess which one it is, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so the first one is a person who is visiting. Which of the expressions that you see in the screen is that? Do you think is that a person who is visiting?
Mm, I don't understand you.
Well, you see some vocabulary in the screen, right? So I'm going to give the description in a deorganized way. So I'm going to give the description of each of the vocabulary that you see in the screen. So you will guess which one I'm describing, right?
Okay, okay, understand. I get it.
Okay. Yeah, so a person who is visiting.
Visitor.
Uh-huh, pretty well. Leonardo,
Yeah.
a rule that people are supposed to follow.
Um, Once again, can you repeat me? Sorry.
A
Yeah.
rule that people are supposed to follow.
Law.
Uh-huh, very well. Okay, next one is a person who does work for another.
Worker.
Ajá, muy bien. The next one is a person that grows food and sell it. Which one it is?
Farmer.
Ajá, muy bien. A person that lives in a certain country. Daniel.
Mm, Citizen.
Ajá, sí dice muy bien. Okay. Okay, pretty good. So you recognize the main vocabulary very well. Here it is.
Huh.
Okay, so let's go with the first question about this topic. Let's begin with Danielle. What do you think is the main reason why a wall between Mexico and US is being built?
The main reason is for American people is avoid the narco traffic, Mainly, they are doing is creating hate between Mexican people and American people.
What do you say that?
Mm, because it's creating um creating war between the people because many Mexicans uh, travel many Mexican people traveled to United States for to get a good a better job, and in this moment it's impossible for them.
Hmm. So you think like the economic condition in Mexico is creating this situation where Mexican people is just coming in to the United States illegally?
Yes, many people have to do that.
Mm. Why do you think it's difficult for Mexican people to just come in the country in a legal way, using a visa and everything?
Can you repeat me the question, please?
Why do you think some Mexican people are just coming illegally? Why do you think they can do it legally, having a visa or something to come in the United States?
It's many times is for they don't have a they don't have any money, and for them they think that it's easy coming in United States illegally, and uh, see many times is for money,
Mm-hmm. It's because of the economic condition, right?
right?
Okay, Leonardo. So, what do you think is the main reason why a wall between Mexico and USA is being built?
Uh, I'm totally, I totally agree with Daniel about the fact that there is a problem of hate, uh, and this is something that is very normal in terms of politics. I'm going to explain very well. For example, some politics like Donald Trump try to spread hate in order for people, especially in the United States, uh, to feel that Latin American, for example, Mexicans or maybe Colombian, are not good people, and it comes down to xenophobia because there are some kind of reasons that Donald Trump has pointed out. For example, he says that there's a problem of jobless generation, and it's because the fact that the population of Latin Americans has risen up for the last years. So they're taking away of the jobs. As a consequence, many North Americans are jobless. They are unemployed. And another important reason is that Donald Trump considered Mexicans, as Daniel was pointing out before, he considered not only Mexicans but also Latinos in general as, for example, drug dealers, smugglers, rapers, and he used to say a special word, uh, banks, pandilleros, because according to some studies, Donald Trump said that most of people who were making atrocities in the United States were Latinos. those kind of
Mhm.
games. That's why he is trying to create some projects like the wall in order to do away with Latin Americans, especially Mexicans who are living in front of them. Yeah, that's what I could tell you.
Mhm. Okay, so let's go with Daniel. Do you think, for example, Donald Trump has a justified reason or some justified reasons in order to build this wall? Sorry.
Donald Trump, Donald Trump doesn't have a good reason. Just he think that uh, like Leonardo's opinions, Latin people are not good, and they he thinks that the world um, it's better for American people because uh, the narco traffic product cannot uh, into in United States.
Yeah, so that's his reason, right? Do you think it's something like goes to a stereotype, or is more like something that can be justified and maybe can be true? What do you think about it? Is justice what he's saying, or is not? Is just injustice?
Is mm, mm, can you repeat me the answer?
The
I don't
question, okay,
understand.
okay. The question is, do you think like what he's saying about Latinos is something uh, justified or unjustified, and why?
Can you say me what does justify mean?
Okay, justify is something that he's got a reason for that can be how to say agreeable in an objective view, you know. Um, for example, it comes from the word justice, which in Spanish means justicia. So justify is justificable.
Okay, thank you very much. Uh, what he did, what he does in this moment is not justifies because uh, the principal reason that he is mm, it's pull apart uh, people and uh, I don't know. He feels that American people is is more than other people. I think that
Okay, so that comes to nationalism, right? So,
yes.
yeah, let's go with Leonardo. Leonardo, do
Yeah,
you think like this world have some pretty justified reasons to be built, or you think it's just injustice what he's doing?
I consider that Donald Trump's comments are unjustifiable. There's something he used to say, and it's this. For example, what about if a girl, a Mexican, decided to have a baby one day in the United States? So she travels there and decided to have a baby for one day. So what is the United States going to do? So after that situation, this baby is gonna be North American. So they will have to take after the baby, and they will have to provide him a security care. medical care. So this is something that they don't consider a good reason. That's why he decided. This is one of the reasons for him to create this wall.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. I didn't know he said that, but yeah, thank you for pointing that up. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the next question is, in general, which effect do you think building the wall will have in Mexico's community? Daniel,
Mm, the building, what effects do you think building the wall will have? The building will have will have in North American community or in Mexican community.
in both. Yeah.
The building will have a negative effect because uh, it will be a rival rivalry 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 between both nations uh, and it could be the Mexican people can can take another decision that affect the affect people American, and it's like it's like a war.
Okay. Okay, so you think that there is going to be actually rivalry between these countries because of this wall and because of not just the wall, but the expressions that this president is just saying or using in order to refer to the Mexican people, right?
Right? It's right.
Okay, okay. Leonardo,
Yeah.
in general, which effects do you think building the wall will have in Mexico's community?
Can you repeat me the question once again? It's raining a lot. It's raining a lot.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which effects do you think it will have the wall between the communities? Uh, for example, in the American community and the Mexican community. Which effects do you think building the wall will have in Mexico's community, for example?
uh, as far as I'm concerned, there will be a feeling of hate all over the world because it's gonna be bad. Uh, I don't like the reason when Donald Trump says Latinos are uh, drug dealers, are rapers, because he's labeled all of us. So everybody's going to hate him a lot. So there will be this kind of feeling, hate, spread all over the world, especially in Latin America. And obviously, maybe those people who are jobless won't have the chance of traveling to the United States in order to land a job, because you know that this is what many people wants to do in the foreseeable future, to get the job of their dreams. That's why they decided to travel there. And yeah, there's not going to be a union between communities, between countries because of that. Is maybe because, or when, maybe if you remember when was created the Berlin's Wall. So it was a terrible epoch, and when, for example, the Berlin's Wall disappeared at all, there were many communities who joined together once again, and it helped the world to live in peace, just like that. This is what I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so don't you think, for example, let's think about the situation between Venezuela and Colombia. Do you think somehow alike, like comparing to Mexico's situation with the United States situation? Leonardo?
Okay. Yeah, I think that in this moment there is a problem of overcrowding because there are thousands of people, thousands of uh, Venezuelans that have decided to get here because they don't have any kind of opportunities in Venezuela. That's why they are working here. Okay, maybe I could relate the situation that's happening now in Venezuela and Colombia with the reading because they are working here in Colombia by, yeah, they are sacrificing themselves with less money. So there are many Colombians who are who feel anger for it because Venezuelans are elsewhere. So they are taking Colombians' jobs. So that's why it's gonna be there is something. I would say that there is xenophobia in this moment that is produced by this situation. So it's very concerned.
But do you
Um,
think it's just xenophobia, or do you think, for example, when people from other countries come to work, maybe they work for less, and it means like in order to get a job or just to be competent, in the business, some people, well, local, we have to just uh, how to say lower the prices of their job because these people is coming and the job is they are working for less. Do you think?
so I have to apologize because I need to get close. It's raining a lot, so there is too much background noise. But yeah, I tried to understand your question. And yeah, for example, I live in a town by the name of San Luis de Gaceno, and there are many people from Venezuela. And for example, they have a startup or open up some little business. It could be hairdressing shops, and they cash uh, maybe sometimes half of the money that a Colombian uh, hairdresser used to catch. For example, if you want to get your hair cut, I consider that you have to go to with a Venezuelan hairdresser because he's cashing 4,000 pesos, 4,000 pesos. But on the other hand, if you go to a hairdresser shop by which the owner is a Colombian, so he's going to catch more than 10,000 pesos. And yeah, it's because of the necessity that Venezuelans have in order to live, in order to get by.
Mhm.
So there are many people working in the street, and yeah, and there are many girls who are working as a prostitutes. This is something that I have to say, and this is very that it's true. And yeah, the prostitutes are doing the same. They are cashing for half of the price that a Colombian girl used to do it. So it's very terrible. Yeah,
Yeah,
terrible.
that problem is everywhere, Leonardo. When I was in Colombia, it happened the same. And what happened is, for example, I live they're like an hour away from Venezuela. It's just in the limit. So you will see these girls, and they will be even underage, they will be like mm,
Yeah,
15-year-olds or something like that. So there is no control about that. Imagine that. So do you think it can be somehow alike to the problem with United States and Mexico? All of the situation described before.
I didn't understand the first part, but sorry, it's because of the noise that is out there. There is too much background noise here where I am. So can you repeat me once again?
Okay. Yeah. So uh, just after describing all of those situations, do you think the situation between Mexico and United States can be alike somehow?
Um, yeah, because there are many Mexicans who have been working in the United States, and as I was telling you before, they are taking away these opportunities of job that maybe a North American can have. So I have to say, for example, that there are some racist groups in the United States, just like the Ku Klux Klan, and this is a group that is not only against Mexicans and Latin Americans, but also they're against black people. For example, Martin Luther King, this famous politician, black politician, who were uh, running for president in 60s. And some people said that he died because of the Ku Klux Klan. Yeah, this is what I could share with you.
The Ku Klux Klan, it's
Yeah,
like a group that goes against black people.
yeah, not only against black people, but also Latinos, Mexicans, because they believe in one race, one specific race that is white, white race. So they consider that people who are white are God. It's just like that.
Yeah. Okay. Pretty interesting, Daniel. Daniel, so do you think like building this wall is not just an economic problem, but is something that is related to racism, like maybe is something like xenophobia, or is just because the economic situation? What do you think?
Okay, Pu- can you repeat the answer, please?
Okay, the question. So do you think building the wall is because of xenophobia reasons, or is it more like economic reasons and those problems that we were speaking with Leonardo? So what do you think is the main reason, xenophobia or the economic problems?
Mm, I think it's economic problems, because when Mexican people into in United States, they can um, remove jobs like some American people need, and I don't know if Donald Trump wants to uh, Donald Trump wants to avoid that, and or it's just only for it's just mm, racist. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, so when Leonardo was speaking about the Ku Klux Klan and everything, it reminds me to somehow the situation that he explains, and it is completely true because as I'm living here in Oklahoma, I had the opportunity to live with American people, and they were telling me some stories about that, for example, here, if a white boy will be playing with a gun in a park, it will be fine. But then if a black boy, little kid, will be playing with a gun in a park, it will be seen badly. It's something pretty bad among the eyes of the community. So, and she also told me that most of the people that are in jail are like black people or Latinos. So that is still that xenophobia. And it's something like it is not something little, it's something big that it is stay behind many of the issues that happen here in North America. So the final question, do you think building a wall among Mexico and the United States is a solution to illegal immigration, and why? Leonardo.
um, I don't consider it's gonna be a solution because you know that this is gonna create hate between communities, between countries, and yeah, I don't know which could be the possible solution, but um, yeah, this is a, a question that I will have to think it over, but let me think it over for a while. So you could
Okay.
ask.
Okay, maybe I can ask Daniel what you think, okay? Yeah. Okay. Daniel?
For me, it's not the solution because people always can do anything one way or another way, and uh, for example, Mexican people can pass by, I don't know, by planes or a tunnel. I don't know. They they think any form to pass to United States, and the wall is not the final solution.
So you think like, for example, that war uh, wouldn't stop Mexican people to get into the United States. So it won't be like the solution because there is always going to be a way in order to just come to United States illegally, right?
Right? They make anything to pass there.
Yeah, they will find a way. They will figure it out, right? They will dig a
Yeah.
tunnel or anything. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, so Leonardo, are you ready?
uh, yeah, I agree with Daniel. Um, if maybe the wall is created, they're gonna find another way, another strategy in order to get into the United States. Maybe the problem is about the uh, Mexico's economy. They will have to work very hard in order to create jobs. So people, Mexicans, are not going to go to another place. Yeah. So yeah, it's inevitable if yeah they're going to travel because the opportunities that they could get in Mexico are really difficult because of the crisis that this country has nowadays. So this is very problematic. It's very troublesome. So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah. So do you think, just comparing again with Colombia and Venezuela, do you think like is there going to be any solution about this issue between Colombia and Venezuela too?
um, I don't know, but I think that uh, when Maduro's government uh, finished at all, maybe there will be a solution. It has to be another politician to replace all his ideas, all Maduro's ideas, because if you look back, it could be maybe 30 years ago. Venezuela was a rich country that there were other politicians who did bad managements, just like Hugo Chavez or, yeah, in this case, in the worst case scenario, Maduro. So as a consequence, there are many people who are living in hardship. Many Venezuelans, most of them, are living in bad conditions. So we will have to wait for another intelligent politician um, who tries to change all these rules that are uh, pointed out in Venezuela, just like that. But in this moment,
Mhm.
it's very difficult to change what's happening in Colombia and Venezuela. So we will have to wait in the future.
Okay, Daniel, what do you think about it?
Mm, Colombia and between Colombia and Venezuela. Yeah, I agree with Leonardo. While Maduro's is government, Venezuela, there will there want a solution, and because they finished his government, there there'll be a solution. And while mm, there is not any solution for Venezuela, and many Venezolanos each day is coming to Colombia, mm, that's all. I don't know how to say.
Okay, yeah. So it's pretty interesting because what happened is it's pretty similar. What happened with Venezuela and Colombia and the United States with Mexico. And some people are just by Mexican part, they are how to say join Mexican people. And what happened is also that most of the farming here work is made by Mexican illegal. Well, so there was a study where they realized that even so Mexican people were just working illegally here. They were paying taxes, so that's the way they just could find out that at least there were at least 6 million illegal Mexican paying taxes. So it is just that. Imagine all the quantity, and it is just growing and growing, growing a lot. And like here in the States, sometimes it's pretty hard to make a living. Education, everything is really expensive. So when these people come here, they just uh, they just look for a job, even so it is not well paid, and it is can be they can be a target for just vulnerable situations where their rights are just violated, right? So it's pretty complex topic, and I think it's something that will have to take a while in order to solve, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so I want to take thank both of you for participated. You did a great job, even so it was raining or the store or anything, but you could do it to this session. Thank you so much.
Thank you for you. I'm so sorry. I felt too nervous.
No, like maybe I can understand that maybe you could be how to say nervous because it was your first time, and then that evaluation title everywhere or something like that. No, but it is something. Yes, it, Leonardo can say that it is the normal. It's not different. Don't be scared.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I felt like a cat between lions.
I don't know. I don't think Leonardo looks that intimidating. Maybe he, but me, I look like a cat. Okay.
uh,
Uh-huh. Bueno,
yeah, I
what
gotta
do
say
you?
that
Yep.
it's such a pity that it is the last time, the last class we're going to have. So uh, I wish we could have another class in, I don't know, maybe next semester, or I don't know, when whenever you want.
Okay. Yeah, I tell you the same. Whenever you want, whenever there is an opportunity and there is a space, we can have more sessions, of course. Yep.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay. Hope you have a wonderful night and thank you. Any question that you have, don't forget to write me there on Skype and see you next time.
So see you. Have a good one.
See you. Have a
Oh,
nice
have a good
night.
one. Bye bye.